This program is proudly brought to you by the VAFA Live Official app. With live scores, team stats, player stats and much, much more. Everything you need for the VAFA in the palm of your hand. Download it from the App Store or Google Play now.
Hi guys, James Boyce here from Complete Sports Management. We're down here at Bulleen where Old Trinity have just beaten Old Carey by 29 points. I'm joined here by Bernie, coach of Old Trinity. Bernie, pretty interesting last couple of weeks with a win and I think your second draw of the season. What was the message coming into today's game?
Yeah, look, obviously huge game for us. We've come off winning the draw, as you mentioned, and a really competitive loss against St Kevin. So you chuck the two buys in there. I think our last 6-week block in regard to our training, our preparation's been really good. We know that they in Carey have had the ability to score heavily at times. They did against us in round 5. A bit of a young unknown team in some regard, but also some really enthused kids who've played decent level junior footy, TAC, a bit of VFL. So we knew it'd be a contest. Little bit disappointed we couldn't probably finish off in that last quarter, which we spoke about, but obviously in the context of our year with relegation, battle with Dealer, a really crucial win.
And I thought Chaz Roberts today, your ruckman, he was huge. Don't know exactly how many hitouts he won, but it would have been most of them. How important was he to your side today?
Yeah, look, with Harry Thompson sort of getting that little injury early in the second, and physio's made the call that probably best to give it a week. It meant Chaz had to take the lion's share today. He's been fairly dominant in his ruck work in the last few weeks, but certainly against collegians, we're unable to get any real effective entries or clearances out of that. So that's something we focused on heavily during the week. Pretty blessed. Got an ex-schoolboy and a mate in Luke Power that came down. So he's coach of the AFL Academy, and obviously we know what he did up at the Lions in his playing career. So for him to come down and be a part of that, Austin Hodge in our midfield group as well, who I thought was exceptional today. We just got a little bit more value out of that stoppage work. So Chaz was critical to us having that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I thought it was mainly like in the midfield.
I think their ability to run off half back started to open the game up a little bit, which we need to be mindful of. I think when our pressure was on in forward half, we were able to trap it in and get repeat entries. So I think that was one that you could probably see what you thought.
And Carey rebounded pretty well out of defensive 50 today. So how do you reckon that impacted the game, and how did you try to cope with that?
Yeah, look, we know it's a real strength of theirs. Kingy, Cuss, a number of their guys that can get into dangerous positions, get it forward. Same out the wing, number 6. Name escapes me at the moment, but we know that's been a real strength of their game early in the year when they were probably, super competitive against some of the top teams. We've got a much more mobile sort of half forward line. I thought Anthony Larkey across centre forward today is kid who normally plays on the wing or half forward flank was outstanding. So I think our ability to get more mobile through there was able to then cut that back a bit. Some of the pressure from Cooper Gerwing, Jack Lefroy was able to neutralise that. But we know, again, they've got some good ball users. If you don't pay them respect, they can slice you up. And they certainly started to do that both off half back and through the wings. And midfielders pushing forward in the last quarter. And I thought they looked dangerous. We know they've got some senior talent to come back, which means I'm sure they'll cause some headaches in the last 5 games of the year as well.
And you mentioned earlier the context of the season, so this game puts you 1 game of percentage clear on 8th, battling relegation. So what will you be looking to focus on in the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, look, I think the 30% as well as the wins is going to be an interesting buffer. Dealer, I think, have got Carey against. That'll be a tough game. Brighton and Melburnians next 2 weeks, I think, are teams who we've been really competitive with in patches. We had a draw with Brighton and we were slaying OMs at half time, and then they turned it on its head. So I think there's going to be a few tough games coming up, and if we can't secure some of those, it's going to be a really tough battle round 18. So if we can keep building on what we've done for the last 6 weeks and stay in the mix, then hopefully a few more wins.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Bernie. Congrats on the win too. I'll now be joined by the coach of Old Carey. I'm now joined by coach of Old Carey, Michael Tarrant. Michael, I think there were quite a few positives you could take out of today's game. I thought you rebounded defensively pretty well, especially in that first half, and then narrowed the lead from 52 points to 29, I think, in the last quarter. So out of a 29-point loss, what are the positives you can take out of today's game?
After the last 4 weeks, we can take a lot of positives out of it. I just thought our midfield even today. So at our stoppages, we were doing really well, which means we could hold our forwards and backs into their positions. And I thought the backs, once you even that out, the backs were able to run off and feel a little bit more confident to take the game on rather than in a couple of weeks, we're 7 or 8 goals down really quickly, and they haven't got that confidence to run off from our back line. So I thought that was a big indicator.
At a pretty big moment in today's game, Liam Mackey went down with an injury in the third quarter, I think it was. Can you tell us a little bit about what happened there?
Yeah, he just got severely concussed, so it was a little bit of a worry. Yeah, he was knocked out for a while, but he seems to be fine. He's remembers most things, and he's in a good spirits at the moment. So that's fortunate.
And how did that impact the rest of the game? Because I noticed in the second half, Henry Chapman, who's played most of this season up forward, he went back down back and had quite a few good moments in the defensive 50. So how did that injury, I guess, shape the rest of the game?
I think too, a focus was we kept dropping 2 back. We seem to have +2 in our back line, so we just concentrated a little bit more about just a +1 down back, so we're able to even up a little bit more around the midfield area. So I thought that was that worked well, and as I said, I thought our intensity lifted in the last quarter because we were really disappointed with the third. So I just thought our round the ground intensity improved.
And lastly, a couple of debutants today. Tell us about them and how you think they went.
Oh, look, we've had that many this year. I think we had Riley Thompson, first game from under-19s. Fantastic effort, played on a wing, so he's got a great future ahead of him. And Connor Vagona played 19s last year, so it was his first game at centre-half back, and he was terrific. So I was really, really proud of their efforts today.
Thanks, Michael. That's all from us down here at Bulleen, where Carey have gone down to Trinity by 29 points. Thank you.
This has been another Complete Sports Management production.